Hi everyone, it's Erin Scott here. So let's talk about 2020 for a second. I'm creating a video where I'm looking at the next several months, September, October, November, December. 2019 has been an impactful year because it's laying the foundations for how we each align and meet the 2020 chapter. So a lot of you listening to my voice, watching this video, are already well aware that 2020 will instigate change, a new chapter, a new story. There is going to be catalytic shifts happening that are part of the natural evolutionary process, period. Okay? But it's going to shake up some realities. And each of you are encoded with a narrative. You're encoded with a blueprint. And that blueprint has imbued in it a natural evolutionary cycle. Okay? That evolutionary cycle is understood in various ways. The progressed chart, the solar arc chart, the transits that are activated throughout your life process, the solar return cycle. Okay? All of these things are important in understanding what is happening. What are the activations? The things that happen to us are not random. They are aligned, deeply aligned, entrenched with the time scale and the clock of our particular blueprints unfolding and blooming. There are simply time frames for certain maximal alignments, opportunities, and energetic things to meet us that are energetically resonant to where we're at the time. That's just part of the narrative. That's how we unfold. That's how life unfolds. We are part of the web of life. We are not separate from it. So with all that being said, 2020 is going to be a game changer, okay, for the collective and for each of us as individuals. So let me tell you what's on offer, because one of these offerings is coming up the middle of September, which is right around the corner, all right? So if you go to this website, I have a few websites. This one is kind of, let's say, the core portal for my work at this point. And then it moves into holosynthesis and the alchemy of holism, right? But this one is, let's say, the key portal through which to access information. So if you go to this website, you're going to see this offering on the home page. Okay, so 2020, I'm going to just read this. 2020 will catalyze significant change within and through each one of us. This year will be bookended by two rare and important events that will catapult new narratives and directions. That's just the way it is. And indeed, we do bookend the year, because if we look down here at the dates, January 12th, 2020, Saturn will conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. It's going to happen exactly at 22 degrees 47 minutes Capricorn. At the end of the year, on the winter solstice, we're going to have Jupiter conjuncting Saturn at 0 degrees Aquarius, which is highly significant. It's been hundreds of years since Jupiter has conjuncted Saturn in an air sign. So this literally is the age of Aquarius, the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the beginning. So in the previous 20, 30, 40, 50 years, there's been all this talk about the beginning of the Aquarian age. Well, we could say pretty definitively that this is an official start date, or at least it's a catalytic date of beginning of this Aquarian narrative, okay? So a huge year. Right? So with regards to this narrative of 2020, everybody, I'm going to be hosting one group session a month in September, October, November, and December of this year. And what it's going to be is a combination of two things during the course of these live group sessions. They're going to happen on Zoom. Zoom is a very easy platform. You're given a link, you click the link, you join the group. And it's on video. So we're all on video. We're all engaging and talking. It's an interactive group course environment. But essentially what this is going to be is personalized analyses. of your journey, but it's going to happen with 4 others. So there's going to be a maximum number of people of 5 people per each month gathering. Each session for every month. So there's going to be 1 session in September, 1 in October, 1 in November, 1 in December. Each one of those will have a 5-person maximum limit. And in the course, we're going to be going through everybody's process. And as I'm doing that, it's going to be working as a teaching portal. So those of you interested in understanding more how to read your own chart, how to understand your own natal blueprint, and the evolutionary processes that it undergoes regularly, and want to learn those processes, what I'm reading, how I'm reading, okay, how I'm analyzing, what I'm looking at, etc. This is going to be very optimal for you, right? Helpful, number one, for you to understand what's happening for you, but also helpful in regards to a teaching portal. Okay, so with regards to some of the details, essentially this is meant for those who really want to understand the personal processes that are going to be activated for you, because not everybody is fully interested in their own psychological unfolding. What's happening with my mind? What's happening with my emotional body? What's happening with me spiritually? What is the evolutionary promptings? What's the narrative that's unfolding? What is the growth now for me? So for those of you interested in the psychological, emotional, spiritual, and evolutionary processes happening for you in the 2020 cycle for that year, then this would be a fit. This is also for those of you that know your birth data, including your birth time. Again, as I've said in some of the other course announcements that I've recently done, I can use a sunrise chart, but it's not going to be as exact. It's going to give a flavor. It is going to give a layer, but it's not going to be exact for you. So an exact birth time is optimal. Okay? And it's also for those who wish to explore the story of who you are and what you're becoming with a group, intimately and with a supportive group. Okay, so it will be quite small, the group, but it's going to be interactive and you're going to be connecting with other people. So this is for those of you that are interested in that, because it's not going to be for everybody, all right? But there are going to be these readings that we're going to be doing that will be extensive. The course itself will be a 3-hour-long gathering, and in that time frame, we're going to be going through 5 analyses, plus my introduction. So these are going to be like 30-minute in-depth processes where I'm going to take you along with me, and we're going to look at what's happening, okay? And we're going to look at multiple charts, by the way. We're going to be looking at the transit activations for the individual, the solar return for that particular given year. Now, these are not going to be in-depth solar return analyses, but it is going to be a look at the generalized theme of activation as it relates to these events happening in January of 2020 and December of 2020. Okay. So these monthly group sessions will happen 4 times between now and the end of 2019. Reserve your spot because there is this limit of 5 people. Within each small group, I will analyze each participant's personal charts, the natal and solar return and the progressed and the solar arc in depth. So we're going to go fast, but we're going to bring up these core narratives that are activated. So you are each called to bring a piece of paper and a pen. You are going to have access to the replay as well. So you're going to be able to watch the replay again and again, but taking notes is probably part and parcel to the process here as well. So the sessions will be casual and they'll be interactive and will act as a by example chart interpretation teaching portal alongside the 2020 process dives, which we're going to do for each person. So as I said, everybody, these are 3-hour Zoom gatherings, okay? And there's a 5-person limit. These are the dates, okay? So we have Saturday, September 14th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday, October 12th at 12 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, November 16th at 12 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, December 14th at 12 p.m. Eastern. Okay? The cost now is $145, and I'm going to keep that price until the 7th of September, and then after that point it will go up to $175 between the 7th and essentially the 13th. I'm going to have to cut off registration probably on the 13th. The requirements is that you will need to submit your full birth data to me so that I can process your chart and give it to you prior to our gathering date. Okay? Be willing to share your chart, and of course have reliable internet so you can join us live. Now, for those of you that cannot join live, it is not a problem because these are going to be recorded and you will have access to the video. So for those that are interested in sharing your information with the group and having me analyze it as a by example teaching process, you're more than welcome to join and then watch afterwards. If you have any Q&A, you can submit it to me before the class and I can address it to you when you watch it later, right? So you can see a couple of pieces of feedback that I've gotten from the courses that I've been putting on recently. There's been a natal chart analysis course, and then there is one that is still active, which is this career alignment course. That is activated. So this one's not even complete yet, but it gives you a little bit of some feedback about how some people have received the information or received the process of these group teaching portals. Okay. Essentially, the work really is a holistic process. There is a lot of data that I attempt to bring forward. I think the more I do this process, the more it is quite paced, which is wonderful. It is a paced process, but it does go fast, pretty fast, and it goes pretty deep as well. So for those of you interested, you can contact me. You can click here to reserve your spot for the date that you're interested in, okay? And you can, for those of you interested in registering now, you can have this discount link accessible right here. Okay, so right here on the homepage, you can click here, and then you will email me to let me know which date you are interested in participating in, whether it's September 14th, October 12th, November 16th, or December 14th. I hope that this was clear. For any of you with any questions, you can also email me via clicking on this link here, right? So this will just email me. So you can ask questions on this button here, or you can reserve your spot. So listen, everybody, there's a lot happening. The world is burning right now. There is a lot of stuff that we are here to bring to, we're here to be fully ourselves as we meet this process of the unfolding cycle of the planet and the human psyche. Because right now, collectively, the human psyche is greatly imbalanced. Those of you that are awake and want to participate in a healthful process of rebalancing for this earth, I invite you to get aligned. Now is the time to do it, because otherwise some of the processes activated in 2020 might feel overwhelming. Okay? Now is the time. The next several months is the time. One of the comments here that came back, I was quite moved by, because this feels accurate for me too. It is magic. You are helping our group embrace their natural abilities as healers for the benefit of Gaia. Indeed, hopefully that is the case, because ultimately, that's my work. Ultimately, personal transformation for collective evolution has always been the goal. So I send you all lots of love for your current processes. And if you have any questions, you can reach out. In the meantime, I'm sending you lots of love. Bye-bye.